All right, family. Black Power. Black Power is the true power with General Sarasun Seti. Kick back, get your mind ready for some information that's guaranteed to be heavy. I'm excited and delighted to be accepting members to not only the Sarasun Seti YouTube page, but the General Seti YouTube page, two powerhouse institutions on YouTube giving you nothing but black power, black divinity. I want you to subscribe immediately. That's right. I want you to subscribe immediately. I want you to become a member right now. The link right down in the video description is in the chat. All you had to do is just click it. You get a video introduction, rundown on the membership, what they entail. You see one you like, you should most definitely join. Even if you don't, I appreciate your presence here at the Sarasu Seti General Seti YouTube page. Continue to engage, continue to advance. That's right, family. The General got a new website on Teachable right now. It's blowing up, family. I want you to get over there. Check out the program we got up there, uploading a lot of dynamic curriculums, powerhouse programs, certificate courses. First one up, 25 Steps to the Redemption of Definitive Black Manhood, designed by the General. It's an amazing course and program for the brothers. Get over there and check it out. Also included is the Brotherhood of Heru Roundtable live stream once a week where the brothers sit down discussing very important, powerful information pertinent to our growth and development. Is nothing like it, family. Is amazing for the brothers over there. Need the structure, need the guidance, is waiting on you. Get over there and check it out. That's right, family. Ring the alarm, KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarasun Seti. DVD lectures, t-shirts, tank tops, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry, holistic tonics and remedies, home decor, accessories for every room in the house. Got something for you. I know you're going to like and love. Get over there, check out that catalog, get a discount, shop and save and shop. Pull the fire alarm, generalseti.com, Seti University. Over 2,500 videos, 40 different subjects, all the subjects that you know and love from the General Old Mecca Voyages of the Nile, ancient Egypt, Nubia. We talking about the Nile Valley studies, military geography, cosmology. We got that. It's so much that we talking about the Black Illuminati, hip hop, Holocaust, so much more. Get over there. There's not another website on the planet that could compare or compete. Become a member today. Everybody knows Seti popping on Patreon. The poppinest page on Patreon by far. We got that smoke dropping, and I had a flyer up on the next video, family. We're going to be going off into the Mormonism, land of move. We touching on everything. We cracking all the eggs. That's right. We cracking all the eggs. Get on over there, Patreon tonight. We got that fire. Don't you dare miss it. If you do, shame on you. That's right. And to all the family donated to the General, I thank you. Appreciate you. Those would like to donate, link right there in the chat. Click it, donate, and I appreciate you so much. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock that notification bell. Get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends. And comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because I will. And I'll do it. Ban your ass. You be banned. All right, family. Here we go. We looking at this, this controversy. Really ain't no goddamn controversy. Same old shit, different day, different day, different scenario, where we got the brother Shedeur Sanders, who, blackballed, and, they blackballed him and sent a message to his daddy. He supposed to be one of the highest prospects to be drafted this year, and, they felt, that, his father already being one of the greats of all time, one of the greats of all time, and, got a chip on his shoulder. He got a chip, and not that, and you're supposed to have one on your shoulder. And if you choose to have, but you a nigga, and they didn't feel like, that he should have that kind of influence. When they get these guys coming into the NFL, they fresh meat. Any of these goddamn, these sports leagues. You see, when the fresh meat come in, you come in and you do what they tell you to do. That's just all it is to it. You know, they humiliate you, and when you come in, you know, they don't talk about all the humiliation rituals that they have for, so they don't have no respect for you when you come in. But Shedeur Sanders, you know, his father prolific, Deion Sanders, he already been schooled to all the treachery in the games of the NFL, and his father is most definitely schooled. And so, you know, they can't play they can't play nothing on him. And he you know, he already got a bag. And when you always see most of them motherfuckers come in, they trying to get a bag. But when you come in already with the bag, you see what I'm saying? This motherfucker walking around, big ass, big ass chains on, iced out and shit. Yeah, you know, and he don't need no, you know, nobody got to give it to him. His daddy already got the bag, already filthy rich. You know what I'm saying? So you got more than most of them got, and you know they didn't sign contracts and shit, and he already got more than what most of them are. You know, it's gonna take them a couple years or so to get what he already got. So it being and he younger, you know, and so that brings a lot of animosity. That brings a lot of animosity. He got a chip on his shoulder. That brings a lot of animosity. And Deion, you know, being able to school his son, and you know, and that's almost like, it's almost, nigga, like violating your oath. It's almost like violating your oath. You know, because you know technically, you know, even if you a Mason and your son a Mason, he got to be initiated. Just that don't make you no goddamn Mason. You know, he got to go through all the rituals and shit just like anybody else. That's how they consider that. You ain't above the initiations and shit like that. And so you done schooled your son to the inside, you know, the behind the veil, you know, and they don't like that, you know. And other fathers, and we gonna talk about that, have done it. But to see Deion Sanders, you a nigga. And you know, they not fond of no nigga looking them in their eyes and trying to be an equal. You know, Deion then went out there to Colorado. He wearing big ass fucking cowboy hats. Yeah, he out there wearing cowboy boots. You know, walking around Big Willie and shit, calling the shots and shit. They don't like that. You know, and they feel like he acting like he Sugar Knight. He Suge Knight of football, damn near. You know what I'm saying? But in a more, you know, in a more smooth kind of way. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, he is almost like a damn sports guru. You know, where he, you know, if he says something, you know, and he's real, he got the rhythm, you know, and when he speak and shit, he's, you know, he hit the bullseye, and they don't like that. They don't like that, and so they, you know, by him, you know, taking the lead with his son and make sure they don't put his son in the meat grinder and just send his son any goddamn where, and you know, and they didn't like that. They didn't like that, and so they punished him. They humiliated him in front of the fucking world. But that's how these Cro-Magnon Neanderthals is. And a lot of people got to understand, you know, yeah, a lot of people got to understand that quarterback role for a long time. You know that they, you know, they want that to be the white man position. You see what I'm saying? The Roger Staubach and all of that shit. You know, that's the Joe Montanas and shit. The Brady's and shit. They don't really, that's supposed to really be, a white man's position, and that's one of the positions in sports, you know what I'm saying, that really was for them. They felt that was, that defined them and they manhood. And when black people started getting in there and shit, and you start having black quarterbacks, you know what I'm saying, that started to be dynamic in that position, you know what I'm saying, that really, that shit cracked that cracked their eggshell. That just like, is almost like golfing. They don't really want that golfing shit. Is another something for, the white man. You feel what I'm saying? They didn't like the fact that Tiger Woods got in there and was so prolific, and it kind of shattered, that it was just for them. Tennis was the same way. And that's why, Serena Williams and Venus Williams, why they got so much, because that tennis shit was really supposed to be for white people. You understand what I'm saying? You had your other sports where blacks could get in there, and it wasn't so, highly polarized. You know what I'm saying? Hockey is another one, and they got some blacks was getting in that shit, and and they like, goddamn, they gonna run us out of even the shit that's on ice. You know what I'm saying? Say these niggas gonna dominate everything, and so they still hurt by the fact that it's been blacks coming into that position. You feel what I'm saying? And dominating. On that quarterback level, especially when what's his name? What was his name? Doug Williams, that played for Washington, the Redskins. That year they played against Denver Broncos, and I believe it was Doug Williams that played for the Whyte, and he threw at that time. It was the most yards and I believe touchdowns in a Super Bowl, and cracked John Elway head open. They was hurt. You understand what I'm saying? They was hurt. And so, yeah, they don't want you coming in there, in that NFL shit, it's still, and it's going to stay the way that it is. It's going to, until blacks, and still today, blacks don't own one fucking, and that's crazy. That's crazy. That niggas is out there jumping, throwing, catching, coaching too, but yet they haven't cracked that ceiling where they could own a goddamn team. That's where the shit come into play. When motherfuckers can own their own goddamn team, and black, out of the 32 football teams in the NFL, yet to see a black owner. Yeah, you might got a little crumb of, you might have a little crumb, but we talking about that out of the 32, Whyte's on 30. I believe you got a Korean guy. I believe he owned the Buffalo Bills, and then you got this Pakistani guy, and he owned one of the other ones. You know what I'm saying? And which is crazy. Which is fucking crazy and shit. So, and so that's the good old boys club. That's how they operate. That's one of their last strongholds and shit, because they know and they want to keep, because they don't know what Deion Sanders' aspirations may be. Maybe he good with coaching, but I'm quite sure that he could lead a team black, investors that could possibly want to buy an NFL team. He could possibly lead, a team of black investors, where they could be the dominant, owner of a team. That would be phenomenal. That's where we got to go. We didn't coach. We know you could coach. We know niggas could catch. We know niggas can catch. We know they can run the ball. We know the only thing we have not seen to that extent is ownership. And, and this is why we need, because when they got together and they, and they conspire, they all conspire, there's no doubt about it. Yeah, there is no doubt about it, because they all are nervous about, Deion having this type of, this type of power where he can influence, and, these young guys and shit, the children of a lot of these superstars maybe coming into the league with a lot more knowledge, more school than all the pitfalls, all the fucking games that these Cro-Magnon Neanderthals have been, pulling over, pulling on these guys that maybe didn't have that kind of knowledge. Them days is up. Them days is up. You feel me? But most definitely it was a humiliation ritual. It was a humiliation ritual, and that's to let Deion know, motherfucker, you still an initiate. You see what I'm saying? No matter how big, motherfucker, you was initiated too, and so you believe you're above the motherfucking, the brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? And it don't work like that. It don't work like that and shit, and ain't no telling how far they willing, how far they willing to go even beyond what they've already done. A guy that's supposed to go in the top, he's supposed to win at least in the top 10. I mean, goddamn, you know what I'm saying? He's supposed to win it at least in the top 10. If nothing else, motherfuckers, because most people gonna show up on the strength of, this is Shedeur Sanders, this is Deion Sanders. So a lot of motherfuckers who ain't, they gonna fill up a lot of seats unless he's just, and which I don't expect him to be. I expect him to get in there and work out, and he still got his pops and shit that's gonna school him and shit. So I'm not expecting him to get in there and flop. We expecting him to get in there and work hard. The fact alone that this man could bring in and pack seats, most people would have picked him up just on the strength of, they know it's going to bring hella revenue off the top. So here they ain't even giving a fuck. These motherfuckers want to send him back. That was a power move. You know what I'm saying? They was sending a message to Deion that, look, motherfucker, you an initiate. You ain't, you know what I'm saying? You can coach over there in Colorado. You can you can say all the things you need to say on that level. But when it comes to this NFL, man, sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying? We still run this shit. We still run this shit. And if you want this young man to have a smooth motherfucker, shut the fuck up. That's really what they saying. Shut the fuck up. Go somewhere and sit down and let us run this shit. You're not stepping on my toes, is what they say. Nah. The only thing that I can see him do, and ain't no telling where these ruthless motherfuckers is willing to go. Yeah. Ain't no telling where they willing to go, because, I could see Deion doing some shit like that. That's how you get back at a motherfucker. Go over there, sit down, get some big name motherfuckers and shit, Go over there and talk to Magic. See where Magic going, see where the motherfuckers shot. Some motherfuckers that you cool with. I ain't saying but names like that. Where you can get, you're gonna have to get some investors and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's willing to put down a couple of dollars and buy a team. You see what I'm saying? Go on and get the Atlanta Falcons or some goddamn body. That's where we need to be going. But to show you, anytime that you got where it's and everything owned by white people, yeah, everything owned by motherfucker, you at the behest of the power structure. So you got to get power. You see, you got to get power. Y'all got to step up, man. all that individual shit, yeah, and you could be in your individual sport doing y'all thing, but y'all could come together, and that's where they're gonna fear. That's really what they're gonna fear, because just like a lot of, when you got a coach in like Deion, or you got, and he become an owner and shit, and they know they got a front office and shit that's about winning. It go, you gonna get a lot of motherfuckers that's gonna flock to that team. A lot of black cats gonna want to flock to that team, and that's gonna be heavy. It could be a very successful venture for black. It'll be a very and so that's threatening to them. You see what I'm saying? That's going, because that could be the end of that shit. And just playing and mind fucking this, the athletes and shit, and playing with their careers and shit, and this, that, and the third. So yeah, most definitely we wish the brother, all the success, and he got to get out there and show up. You know what I'm saying? Swallow that shit, because at the end of the day, success is a dish best served cold. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Say if they ever on a team, they will still. Nah, that's not true. That's not true. Stop that. All right, man. Deion Sanders is and I mean, we got to stop that. We got to stop that. Hey, you know what I'm saying? We got black business, brothers and sisters in athletics that are out there, and they ain't selling no marijuana, ain't got no strippers at their games. Come on now. We got to stop that. We got to stop that shit. Deion Sanders is father is beyond all that shit. Magic Johnson's, and that man got businesses for days. Ain't nobody. Come on now. We got to quit, downgrading our people on some bullshit. We got to stop that. Yeah. They ain't about to have no shit like that. These guys already got professional businesses out here doing very well, and they could continue the process. You feel what I'm saying? Into the NFL, into owning basketball teams, and that's where we need ownership. That's what it's about. It's no longer being, we could bounce the ball, we could throw it, we could catch it, we could coach, we could do all that. Even GM, goddamn, it's time to own that motherfucker. It's time to own it and be the soul, and be the dominant owner, be the majority owner. You feel what I'm saying? And so when you can own your shit, you can make your own motherfucking rule. You could sign your own players. You could do what the fuck you want to do. You feel what I'm saying? They said nobody pick his ass till we say pick him. It was all about. No, it's more than money. It's about that power. About the motherfucking power. More than the money. You see? Yeah. It's the power. God damn it, you got the power. You can make the money. Yeah, no, he was like, power. When you got power, you can make the money. You see what I'm saying? Shit. You feel me? All right, family, we be right black. I want you to hit that like button. I want you to share the video with your family and friends. We be right black. We got some fire. We got some fire. This is General Cyrus Seti. We got some links over there in the chat. Make sure you hit that Patreon, family, and be over there for that work. I'm ready to get to work. It's May, and I'm about to turn up the heat. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black Pop. We'll talk about it. Bring it on over to the next video. Bring that over there, because I forgot about that too. You right. Bring that back on over there. Bring it on over there. Deion wore that dress. Yeah, bring that on over. That got to be discussed. That's legitimate information. Bring it on over to the next video. Black Pop.